Well, good morning. We are live. This is Justice's waiting room. To the person that left me the comments and said I need to wait more than 6 minutes to get into action, well, here's your fan service. Um, every day, every single day, I will be live in 90-minute sessions, potentially two, three, four times a day, where the entire purpose of the show is to go over news and politics in the world, and specifically in the United States. A lot of our conversations about the election, a lot of our conversations are going to be political. One thing we're not going to do here, we're not going to suffer a fool. So you come into this chat and spit that MAGA shit. I don't want no quarter. You'll find no quarter here. I am not tolerant. This is the intolerant left. But yeah, this is Justice's waiting room, and we're waiting around to hear the bells of justice ring. And so, I start every day. I don't watch mainstream news, right? Because they're all in the same boat. Okay. Let me see here. I feel like one of the things we're not talking about. Okay, we are not talking about this Alexander Smirnov. Okay. He initially lied about the Bidens, and he lied that they'd made a bunch of money off Ukraine. I feel like it's important. I'm going to post it. We're live on Blue Sky. Always give the greeting of the day. Good morning. Let's see. If I went to YouTube and I wanted to go YouTube Studio. By the way, we're at 600 subs. We've had, in the last 28 days, 1,400 views for about 128 hours of watch time, which is tons. Last 48 hours, a lot of our content's starting to get views. Okay? So, and of course, it picks up all the other content, right? Gloria Rice said I needed this therapy right now. Thank you, Jared. Good, good, good. See, what if is okay? Yeah, and I want to share that. Okay. do this. 4 a.m. Club. Let's see. Okay. And remember, we're really only on Blue Sky, so me post this. There. So I put my handle in there, which is at likelyalien.bsky.social. Okay. Good morning to the couple of you that's in here already. Good to see you. I don't want to use TikTok or Twitter. I mean, but we will definitely get to talking. Hey, May. Good morning. Afternoon here. Okay. Fair enough. So I'm hearing AOC is about to get an oversight role, and I'm also hearing rumblings that fucking other women in the Democratic Party are working against her. And again, everything that I do now in my life, I view through the lens of first, is that fucking racist? And then next, is that fucking misogynist? And when I think about, obviously, can women be sexist against women? Yeah. And I'm hearing like Nancy Pelosi is trying to tank her bid, and it's just like, you hating ass bitches. You know what I mean? It's always a white woman. Mm-mm. when I go back, yeah, just like I said, yeah, it was Pelosi. Daily Beast article, yeah. But I still think the Alexander Smirnov thing's not a big enough story. That was a key witness that lied on the Biden family, that admitted he fabricated a conspiracy about Joe Biden and his son in regards to money they made off a Ukrainian company. That's a big ass story. The news is all fucked up right now. It's like all the important stories are being told by smaller markets, while the large markets are just bullshit. Like, let's see what's on. I'm gonna get rid of my YouTube TV. Remember what? Always, um, bumping war. Absolutely. Yeah, Alexander Smirnov. But this just happened. Yeah, it should have been a bigger story than that. Hey, you got 4 people in here. Good morning, everybody. Huh. Good God, God, what is it good for? Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely nothing. I told my wife last night I think I got a opener, like a good opening song, and I said yes, Edwin Starr, War, the original, 1969. And so when I start the podcast, because I could play it for you, but I'd rather give you the option. Does that make sense? Like, you could just listen to my voice. You don't have to every song. Could you imagine listening to every single song I'm listening to as I'm listening to it, as I'm talking? Huh. I can't imagine finding that entertaining. Absolutely nothing. Wow. Anyway, so, oh, also, did you see this shit? Okay, so I'm gonna share this in chat. Okay, this is from Reddit. If you're not familiar with Reddit, Reddit is like a long form version of what Twitter was becoming. But anyway, this is a link to a response that a voter got from Tammy Baldwin. I think she's the senator elect in Wisconsin. I think. Okay, and I'm not gonna read the whole letter because I gave you the link. Like you can just click it and read it your fucking self. But what I'm particularly interested in. So you got to understand that you can't say stuff without evidence, right? And all these fucking elected officials are lawyers. So one of the things that you're always gonna get is, while I do not question the outcome of the 2024 general election, right? So they're leading. Good morning. They're leading with. I'm not calling it a question result. You got to keep in mind, Democrats won pretty much goddamn everything, and the only results we're particularly fucking interested in here are the swing states and the presidency, right? So you got to remember, largely these elected officials are going to be kind of mum because we kind of kick their ass, you know. And again, it doesn't feel like it. It didn't feel like it on election night. But as we got away from election night and as we've gotten closer to like the result of the election, we're just getting started, baby. I posted a link to the song, the opening song for the Justice's Waiting Room is War by Edwin Starr, the 1969 version. There's a link to that, a YouTube link. And then the first thing that we were kind of looking at is uh, a letter that a voter received from Tammy Baldwin. And that's the Reddit link right there. Okay. And so you can read it for yourself. I don't need to read it to you. But I want to talk about some points of acknowledgement that you gotta start it out with like, and this is an elected official responding to a letter that a voter sent concerning the election. So an elected official said, on election day, there were reports of bomb threats at polling locations across several states, including Wisconsin. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has reported that many of these threats appear to originate from Russian email domains and that the threats were not credible. As a result of these threats, some polling locations temporarily closed on election day, but the threats did not result in any voting locations closing for the entire day. And then she goes on to say, while I do not question the outcome of the 2024 general election, and again, it's because we largely fucking won this shit, I'm concerned about these threats and any potential foreign interference in our elections. That's why I sent letters to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation requesting that these agencies further investigate foreign government interference in the 2024 general election. Okay, so understand that what she did was her part as it refers to Executive Order 13488 or 848. Sorry, 13848. A senator told you I sent letters to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Okay. Cybersecurity. CISA, Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency. CISA and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's the FBI, CISA, DNI. She sent them all letters and recommending that they investigate foreign interference in our elections. So we've been looking for breadcrumbs. I feel like we are on ham sandwiches now. Does it feel like we've upgraded from breadcrumb to ham sandwich? Am I the only one enjoying ham right now? Because again, Jackie Singh yesterday totally fucking validated me, dude. I was starting to feel the little thing in the back of my head that's like, are you losing your mind? And then Jackie Singh's post went live, and I read that in this fucking podcast yesterday, and was like, okay, so that's a lot of treason. Okay, let me explain. That is Artem Klyushin is a Russian national that was at one point imprisoned in the United States, and he was traded for Whelan, if you remember, Whelan. Yeah, so he was like a known quantity. Okay, I got into the ham sandwich analogy. We are now on ham sandwiches. We were on breadcrumbs, little email shits, little bullshits. I'm telling you, you know what the big sign was that we like may have glossed over? I think I said it. I just didn't make it a big enough. I've done a poor job of telling people what is important. You know what was important? Barack Obama, Gavin Newsom, and Cory Booker in like a 48-hour period, all coming out. It was like they were about to explode. Fucking Hakeem Jeffries. You know what the problem was? He was at the tail for the record. He was at the tail end of a 30-minute availability when he started to open up about the election. And he was being very good. For the record, Hakeem Jeffries is fucking sharp. Like everybody always talks about Pete Buttigieg, but Hakeem Jeffries has that iambic pentameter, that fucking that tone and register and that fucking consistency in his voice that like he could win a fucking presidential election. So understand that I'm giving him some grace and saying he was at the tail end of a 30-minute availability. Okay, I appreciate you, Julie. Thank you, baby. Okay, so he was at the tail end of that availability anyway. So everybody pointing out that he ran off stage, I'm not even fucking worried about him running off the stage and that little look back. None of that shit. Okay, it's much smaller. It's much smaller. It's setting the tone. It's it's the narrative where he was responding to being asked if the Democratic Party needs a rework. For the record, his response was fucking perfect. Do we need a so put aside outside interference and election fraud. Let's just push those things aside. Hakeem Jeffries effectually said, and let's talk about the motherfucking results. There were 7 fucking swing states. Okay? We went over this yesterday. We are going to repeat topics a lot. There were 7 swing states. He first said the thing about Arizona. Donald Trump won somewhat convincingly. Wink, 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 nod, nod. Did anybody else get that? Somewhat convincingly. What does that mean? Talking about how Donald Trump won the presidential election in Arizona, but Kari Lake lost by 6 figures. What the fuck? Hey, these are just facts. We don't have to. Not everyone in the audience is going to be like, I agree. They're going to be like, do we know that? We know that. Donald Trump I think that was I think I might be right here. Arizona was his big win. I think he won by 1.5 million votes. I might be wrong. Okay? Somewhat convincingly. What? And then he says 100 million in outside money to unseat Bob Casey in Pennsylvania. So he in my eyes, as somebody like, I'm an analyst by nature. Math is my strong suit, but English wasn't far behind. I got a 1510 in the SAT. I can analyze language. And people aren't saying. Yeah, I thought think about Bill Clinton though. The thing about Bill Clinton is he's older now and they're not in the know. So you have to take things with a grain of salt. The people that are clocked in every day on Capitol Hill are going to have a complete. I mean, first of all, they all have active security clearances or are being briefed fucking every day, and Bill Clinton's not. He might have a secret service detail. He might get some general information that is probably not kept on our radar. Okay, but that doesn't mean that he's getting like classified briefings as a fucking former president. That's just not happening. He's a regular citizen now. Okay, he just gets a driver. I'm pretty sure he gets a driver and a detail and a paycheck. Okay, so let's keep talking about Hakeem Jeffries. Sorry to get derailed about Bill Clinton, and I wasn't trying to discredit him, except I was saying like he is the establishment, but he's not as like prominent as he once was. And you look at the last like 20 years, he was way more prominent 20 years ago than he is now. And when I say prominent, I mean like seen on Capitol Hill a lot. He's not. Okay, they're all getting up there. Thank God. God damn it. Okay. So Hakeem Jeffries says, he wins somewhat convincingly in Arizona. $100 million in outside money to unseat Bob Casey in Pennsylvania. And then 5. Barack Obama is like the anti-establishment establishment. I hate fucking saying that out loud. but he was like the punk version of the establishment, the Democratic establishment. He was like established with style. It's like a compliment to a black man. Um, like he very much could like reach across the aisle and shit. He's a great fucking. He's great. A little bit drone heavy. I gotta admit, he probably messed up a lot of drone pilots. But anyway, so Hakeem Jeffries, all right, he says somewhat convincing win for Donald Trump in Arizona. I find that interesting, somewhat convincingly. $100 million in outside money to unseat Bob Casey in Pennsylvania. And then he says, despite the other 5 swing states, so lost all 7 swing states in the presidential race. But we swept down ballot in 5 of those 7 states and took Democratic seats underneath Bob Casey and took Democratic seats in Arizona. And so again, you have to think like everybody's so focused on their local election, their county, their state or their region and their state or whatever elections or their regional, you know what I mean? They look at the overall picture, obviously the presidential election, but you have to understand. One of the things that I don't say often enough, the president has like 9 powers, bro. Like he's just he's a fucking puppet too. Okay? Um the Democrats like have been pretty tight-lipped because they're walking a tightrope. Like you don't want to redo this election. It actually looks really good for us. Like in 5 of 7 states they swept outside of the president elect. Now, obviously, I call into question the result of the presidential election and I want either a recount, a fucking audit, or I want to revote for sure. But I'm also I contain multitudes where I can be disappointed in the presidential outcome, call that into question, say Donald Trump fucking cheated because he's cheated at everything he's ever done in his motherfucking life, right? He has literally cheated at all of it. Why wouldn't he cheat now? And obviously, I think it's worth looking into in Pennsylvania where they spent a lot of time. They spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania. Okay. Arizona, it's like again lost. That was the biggest win for Donald Trump. Was I believe it was 1.5 million in in OAZ, telling you where not to fucking go. By the way, and hey, he may have won. You know, so like I said, there's a reason they didn't ask for mass recounts. Okay, it's because largely in the races that were important, Democrats fucking clean their clock. It was. I've been saying it's the death of the Republican Party for a multitude of reasons, and it ain't just because Donnie. It's because their ideals are dying. There's a reason I'm talking about forming a new political party, calling it the American Socialist Party, and being left of Democrats. Let them argue for rule of law while we argue for universal health care, education, income, and housing. And I would rather have that power balance than fight between middle of the road politics and fucking fascism. And that's been our option for the last 8 fucking years is either middle of the road appeasement style politics and fascism. Those have been our options. And I think that Democrats would fucking much rather argue cogently, and I'm going to use that word a lot. Keep this in mind. So, Logan, keep this in mind, buddy. The DSA, the red ones, the DSA, the Democratic Socialist of America, they have 92,000 members. That's fucking nothing. That's nothing. That's not something you can overcome. and be bigger than that. Now, the Democratic Party, 45 million registered members. I honestly think if your party was agnostic, right? If it had no gods and it just said we want to advocate for legal weed as a means to pay for our socialist bullshit, our socialist agenda. We want to legalize marijuana federally, and we want to make sure that it's our cash crop. Because of the rising, for the record, a lot of people are going to ask in the future, so I might as well get it out there while I know. One of the ways that we can benefit as the poor people from climate change is that more of our land is going to be suitable to grow cannabis and hemp. And hemp is extremely useful. It now keep in mind it's you can grow that. So uh, the upside of us all asphyxiating to death over time is that at least we'll be able to grow our own legal weed, right? So yeah, I think that the American Socialist Party, you got to take up a little bit of yeah, trying to be pretty agnostic about it. You know, I acknowledge all faiths. I tend to hold court with your gods when I'm lost. Frequently, we're all lost. Who are they really? Guides? I'm a guide. Wait, not to interrupt, but the letter on Reddit you said was a step into the EO order. So, yeah, the Jackie Singh publicly outing an inner circle member, somebody who is a Russian operative that was telling the GOP who to hire and who to fire, and the GOP listened, and there's a track record of it. The bomb threats one, yeah. This is the letter Tammy Baldwin, a U.S. senator in Wisconsin, sent. Sorry, we're bouncing all over the place. I'm trying to interact with my chat. Unlike most of the podcasts you ever listen to, we have a live chat. We have 12 people in here. We're doing so good. You guys are awesome. I told you, we're already bigger than we were yesterday. And it's the first session of the day. 34 minutes in. Yeah. So Tammy Baldwin said, and keep in mind, we were just talking about if you're just getting in here, we've been living off of breadcrumbs, and I'm starting to feel like we're getting fed ham sandwiches. So, in the last week, what have been the major news stories? Executive Order 13848, right? The knowledge now that what I had been purporting, you got to understand, I was talking out my ass. I was saying there's no way they've been investigating his ass for 37 fucking years. He's threatening to get rid of these agencies and they're not going to do everything in their power to fucking stop him. And of course, I'm right because Donald Trump's a dumbass. And he signed Executive Order 13848, and it's gonna go, and it's got re-signed. Joe Biden re-signed that shit because it's a good fucking rule. And now, with Jackie Singh literally showing you treason, like what she came out yesterday with the walk-off grand slam. That's what she started with. Was hey, batter up, fucking put her fucking hips into that shit and turned on that ball and crushed it. Knocked the fucking seams off the ball. Put it over the bleachers. Through the scoreboard out into the pond. Oh, by the way, it killed a megalodon. That all rhymed unintentionally. Okay? Jackie Singh came out and said, here's an inner circle member, somebody that works closely with Donald J. Trump and Elon Musk. that is a Russian national formerly imprisoned in the United States that was let go as part of that Whelan, Whelan. Yeah, okay. So he's like a known quantity. Oh, honey. Yes, Marlena. Yes. That while the tip of the iceberg was a big fucking tip. Okay? She tagged the FBI DOJ. She tagged him. The last post is FBI DOJ NatSec. Okay? And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I posted on her, she posted last, remember how we talked about she posted I'm in danger? Remember I joked about it? She had the fucking house on fire meme with the dog sitting out front like, "Oh, I'm fine." Right? I posted in a reply to that and I said, "Look, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just a Marine Corps infantry veteran that worked armed and unarmed security at concert venues in Indianapolis and the surrounding areas for over a decade and never had a fucking issue. Uh, your time frames are not matching, right? Like, listen to this. If you think that your life is in danger and you're a public servant and you're like somebody who uses social media regularly, guess what you don't ever fucking do? Hit send as you walk out the door. Cause what you do, if you do that every time you leave your house, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. Submit. That's how you get your fucking house broken into, and that's how you get fucking kidnapped and shit. So I sent her a message. I already did that. I did that when she posted, I'm in danger." I said, "Girl, your time frames better not fucking match. Who's running your goddamn security?" Okay? So understand that there's a 0% chance she didn't fucking read that shit because she liked it. So I know that she knows someone out there knows. Girl, your time frames better never fucking match. What did she post after that? I have data that has national security implications. And then her fucking account got banned on Twitter and Blue Sky. Now, on Twitter, I think that was Elon Musk. On Blue Sky, I think it was the GOP getting on there and fucking downvoting the shit out, reporting the shit out of her shit and getting it. And she started multiple accounts and they all got shut down. Okay. So she'd been trying to put herself in a position to disseminate the word that she put out yesterday. She'd been navigating how do I get this in front of the largest audience possible. Okay. Because there's still this notion that she has, because remember, part of the reason Jackie Singh doesn't have near the credibility is that she tried to straddle the line between the left and the right. And she was willing to be friends with people on the right. And like, you understand what I'm saying? And she gets kind of testy on the internet. She's gonna protect herself. And she's not afraid to talk about it. Okay? Yeah, I hope she stays fucking safe, man. I hope again, I hope her time frames don't match. And so I say all of that shit to say, what I'm hoping is when she turned state evidence, right? When she said I have information that has national security implications, I'm guessing she got a fucking phone call. Hopefully it was from fucking Kamala Harris. And she said, "Girls, spill the tea." And she said, "Oh, I got a terabyte of shit." Okay, send it to me. Okay, here. And so I'm willing to bet you that all of the research that she's done, that shit's already gone. And when I say gone, I mean like it's already in the hands of the law. They already have that. All of it. And what she's doing, yeah. Oh yeah. Here's what I'm saying. What she put out yesterday, that was coordinated. Why the fuck would you put out an inner circle member first? Wouldn't you want to work your way up? No. I think she put out the most damning information that she had that is easily publicly consumed. There was tons of fucking evidence. It's evidentiary, my dear Watson. She had the most info on it. It's the most concrete evidence. It's also the hardest hitting. Straight up motherfucking treason. From Elon Musk, Donald Trump, there's pictures. There's pictures of them. There's him telling them who to hire and who to fire, and them fucking doing it. That and again, one of my TikToks this morning was explaining that there are actually 3 different parts of treason. Because everybody wants to talk about war. Huh. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Anyway, war. Levying war is just the first part of treason. There are 2 other parts of treason that include basically doing the will of the enemy and giving aid and comfort to the enemy. So understand that. What do you mean by it will come out? Okay. She's putting out what the feds have already processed. Look how clean it is. Obviously, a lot of that's hers. But again, she has all this info. The data visualization is what takes the most time. Information gathering is not hard. Compiling, not hard. What's hard? Visualization. Making it all appreciable. So she's showing you what the feds have already processed. Yeah. And it was a fucking and for the record, it felt like a an Acme. Like everybody, it's like they softened the blow of what Jackie Singh did with the UHC killing. So we already had this like watershed moment in front of Jackie Singh sliding Artem Klyushin, just putting him front and center. And that's like, dude, the feds already got that. They know that. Yeah. Brasher said she worked on Biden's IT team in 2020. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So understand in my position now, here's where I am now on this cuz I've changed. They've been monitoring for 37 years. They've been investigating him according to Article 13848 since 2018. So I'd argue what we're seeing is the result of at least 6 years of multiple federal agencies watching Donald Trump like a hawk. And cuz he wrote that rule in fucking 2018. In 2018. Executive Order 2018, and it's been renewed every year since. Mm-hmm. For the record, I just want to point out that Executive Order 13848 existed in 2020 and 2021, and all those heads of state came out and said there was no fraud. I just want to make sure that I point that out. Donald Trump did sue like 63 times, and he only won 1 case, and he actually got people's votes thrown out. So it's not even like what he won was something to brag about. He still lost by 7 million fucking votes. Brasher says they know everything. What we know is that what they want us to know. Facts. I'm 100% confident with 100% every fiber of my being. Part of the Democratic philosophy is that our followers will work for free. The people that are interested in democracy will do it for free. Why do you think people turn right? Because it pays. It pays. Yeah. So I used to think, prior to today, I used to think they started their investigation after the second session or whatever. And now I'm like, oh, they've been investigating Donald Trump because he's a fucking political candidate and that was in the fucking 2020 race, y'all. And he's the one that signed this executive order. So now that 45 days is 6 years now. Plus 37 years in total, but 6 fucking years of gathering information. And so this person, this Artem Klyushin, all that information coming out yesterday, trust the feds got a hold of that first. And the feds, they gave it back to her and said, release it in this order. Thank you for your work. We copied it. We're going to, work together. Will you put this out first? Because what it does is that's a shockwave. That hits like a ton of fucking bricks. That puts someone in their inner circle, clearly a Russian, clearly giving orders, clearly orders are being followed. That that would be giving in, like doing the enemy's will and shit. So remember that the reports are due to Avril, the director of the Department of National Intelligence. And that department oversees all those agencies that we keep bringing up: the FBI, CIA, NSA, CISA, DSIC, right? Army Cyber Command, right? They've been investigating this election since probably before the election. Mm-hmm. So I read somewhere there's like 3 million votes in limbo still. Not counted. Not counted. 3 million not counted votes that are like they don't know. So I don't really know that I want to get too terribly tied to any time frames. It's the 13th. I'm expecting a week from today those reports are due. There's no hard fast rule that says you got to turn them in a week early or shit like that. Um yeah, I think the feds have been on his ass since he signed that rule. Yeah, I would have in the very next election anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I would have done all that research, figured out like contacts, figured out their social media handles, how they interact, who's doing all that. Yeah, I would have kept a whole web up of him. He's a fucking political figure. He's a volatile human being. He's gonna get kept under wraps. That's what Donald Trump thinks in this pursuit of power is that he's gonna be able to get away with it. And you literally ran toward the people that are in charge of the military that are currently in power. Yeah, I think it's coordinated. I think the information that she put out about Artem Klyushin, I think they had that already. Cuz that doesn't seem like something the feds would have missed. They did a deal to release them. You think they just like release them to the wild and then don't keep tabs on them? The fuck? You're especially getting the aftershock or what's at issue. Yes. So you don't want to wake up these violent people. You know what I saw already though? Somebody posted Donald Trump's on Truth Social kind of warming up the audience to the idea that this election is going to get stolen from us. At least that's what I heard. But yeah, hey, there are 12 people in here. So good morning. We've been going for about 50 minutes. Got about 40 minutes left. Hey, make sure that you touch grass today, that you drink water today, Try to get 8 hours of sleep. Take care of yourself. Donald Trump softens on Project 2025. Very conservative and very good. Jesus, Donnie. By the way, again, I don't think this is as big a story as it should be. The chief of of NATO, okay? The NATO chief said Europe must adopt wartime mindset to stop Putin. And 40,000 NATO troops are in Ukraine now. So, and I'm guessing Ukraine's going to become a member of NATO any day. Do I know anything about the guy Jackie said they're communicating with? You mean Artem Klyushin? All of his posts are on fucking social media for the world to see. Where he's telling them to fire this person, hire this person, and that person gets fired and that person gets hired instead. He's literally given them orders and they're following them. So he's more than just influential. He's in charge. He's giving Donald Trump and fucking Elon Musk marching orders. And they're doing it. That's the big T that we keep talking about. It's more than just levying war against your own country. Who is he though? Artem Klyushin is I'm gonna look him up here. Artem Klyushin, a convicted hacker who was recently traded back to Moscow. Artem is a common diminutive for Vladislav. So think Vladislav Klyushin. He's wealthy and well-connected, is an associate of a GRU operative, and already indicted by the U.S. for interference in the 2016 election. He runs the cybersecurity firm M13, which does IT work for Putin's office, and was and may still actively be one of Putin's musketeers or bodyguards, somewhat akin to a Secret Service and the Federal Protective Service, FSO, which is reportedly assigned some level of responsibility over information warfare. So Artem Klyushin represents a high-level Kremlin influencer actor who combines cyber and info warfare capabilities, financial operations, and direct policy influence through social media channels owned by his partners to achieve the goals of the man to whom he is loyal, Putin. Yeah, Moldova and Romania both investigated their elections and found Putin interfered. So now that you know who they are, they're a hacker, close with a GRU operative, worked directly for fucking Putin. And the evidence of active, long-running coordination with Trump and Musk. So, he's about to fall out of a window for sure. He's definitely giving, like I said, he's giving marching orders coming from fucking Putin. And there's pictures of him with Elon Musk and pictures of him with Donald Trump. He's young. You can see. Here's what I'm looking at, by the way. Yeah, like I said, I think because Jackie put that shit out there, it's super hot. By the way, for the record, if Jackie doesn't put anything else out, she's a fucking hero. She did her job. Okay, he's an inner circle member. He's literally in the same room as Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and he's told them who to hire and who to fire, and he's given them orders on social media, telling them exactly what to do, and they're doing it. And there's track record of it. So if she's putting that shit out, there's no way the fuck feds ain't seen that shit. There ain't no fucking way. He was already indicted and traded. So he was a known quantity. They're gonna tail him forever, monitor him forever, and everything he does ever he'll be held accountable for. Yeah, fuck yeah. So her obviously big shout out to her putting that shit out there. It's explosive. A lot of people are gonna wonder if there's a follow up. You know, if she's got something bigger than that, I mean, Jesus. If there's something even worse than, well, it's just, I mean, it's just like I said yesterday. It's just like I said yesterday. On what planet would you double dismiss inciting and participating in an insurrection for greater charges? What are greater charges than inciting an insurrection, my dear Watson? Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. There are 14 people in here. Oh my gosh. Good morning, everybody. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend. Make sure you drink water. Make sure you touch grass. And then by touch grass, I don't mean get out of here, punk. Yes, Jilly. Yes, baby. Exactly what we needed. Exactly what we needed. It's like the rain after a long period of dryness. It's exactly what it is. Yep. Oh my gosh, May. It's been a great. Hey, Joanne. It's been a great week. Yeah, I mean, Annie, that's part of the reason of they clarified that he doesn't have immunity. And they double dismiss shit to clear the runway. So when he catches charges, but treason will be charged by the Department of Justice because of Elon Musk could catch charges for treason too and tried by the DOJ. We'll see about extradition being even necessary. Remember, the thing about Executive Order 13848, what it did was it took charges that typically would have gone through the Supreme Court and stood some chance of a friendly Supreme Court like either refusing to try. For the record, part of the way the Hague works and the ICC works is they'll step in when a lower court refuses to try. So for the record, it's like a choose your own adventure that you have to go as information becomes available to you instead of as you want to go through the steps, right? I think having your former cybersecurity lead dump Artem Klyushin on your lap yesterday on social media and put it on fucking Twitter, and it's still there. So Elon Musk has to know he's cooked. He has to know. Putin has to know. Donald Trump has to know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been saying what we have to do as a country is deprogram. And what I mean is there are people in this country that have been brainwashed by Russian disinformation. One of my earliest videos before the election was that I was concerned about people getting caught up in Russian and Chinese disinformation Because no, I'm looking at it right now. It's not like I have like an archived version. I can just go to Jackie Singh's page and I can, yeah, right now. Yeah. Like this link that I'm putting in the chat right now takes you to the first page. One of however many. And she does like a total of 7, I think. And tags DOJ, NatSec, FBI. And keep in mind, she's like, isn't this supposed to be somebody else's job? Yeah, it's like she went to the feds with info and they gave her some back. Said, here, you can have that back. Can we put that out? Okay, cool. And then more information will get turned back over to her that she's given to the feds, and then she'll put that out. And it's all cold and calculated. There's absolutely Supreme Court will help him at all. Nope. Nope. Dip. Dip. That's one of the great things about your opponent. Okay, are you ready? This is the most disrespectful thing I'll probably ever say about Donald Trump. Are you ready? This is one of the best things about Donald Trump having fucking dementia is that he probably has no idea that he signed Executive Order 13848. He probably does not remember doing that, and he would probably argue that he did not do that shit if you confronted him about it and you were like, "Hey man, like I always talk about the lunch at the White House, and I talk about, oh, hey, they told him, "Nah, no, you know what? I'm backing off that." I think they're just like, "Congratulations, Don. Sign this paperwork." Oh, you don't want to sign shit without a lawyer present. You don't have him present. Perfect. You brought Elon. Perfect. Okay. But at some point, someone had to point it out to him. Hey, you understand that your ploy won't work. Here's why. So remember, I thought for a long time, man, if they can muddy the results of the election and get it to a friendly Supreme Court or take it to the states, there's two possible endings here. Donald Trump could strong arm his way into the presidency using SCOTUS and having control of more states. hmm However, comma, Executive Order 13848 explicitly it takes election crimes that typically would be tried by SCOTUS, and they would probably decline to try them, which forces it into the ICC hands. And then it's a big snafu because the U.S. isn't a charter member of the ICC, and since when do we give a fuck with the ICC? We don't acknowledge those charges. That's what's going to happen, and we're just fucked. And instead, it takes all those fucking charges, those election crimes, and they're now tried through the DOJ, which supersedes fucking SCOTUS. And so Donald Trump is going to get got by his own rules. He did that. It didn't get done to him. But again, that's the best part about him having dementia is he probably don't even remember doing it. He probably is going to blame this on Joe Biden. When the reality of the situation is like you signed it. Remember they haven't signed the transition paperwork and passed FBI background checks so they can only get like public level briefings. Time wasters. They're getting the same breakdowns, that the same kind of breakdowns that I'm giving you. Declassified shit. Public information. No, he can't get any classified information. Like I said, it's like they're getting TMZ shit. You know what I mean? They're not They're not getting a classified briefing. Mm-mm. Nothing that they have no information the public doesn't have. And I'm talking about Donald Trump right now. And the security briefings they're receiving are only based on publicly known information. They haven't passed FBI background checks, so they could start receiving classified data. Yeah, he can't go anywhere. You know, it came out recently that he has plans for hotels, I think in Russia, and I think he has it also in Gaza, if I'm not mistaken. I think his son works with a couple realtors that just got busted for sex crimes. By the way, isn't that crazy? You think he'd be sworn in? Well, that's the thing. I think that. Well, here's the thing that people don't realize. You understand that in a normal election, you don't appoint cabinet members until after January 6th. More like April, May. I mean, go Google Signs cabinet picks, SIGNS cabinet picks, and press enter, go to news. And when you look at the dates, all those cabinet picks are signing in May, in March. And it's like, oh, so this is completely out of order. Yeah. And you got to realize, like I said, everything is capitulating reaching an acme at the same time. There's like, we're on the brink of World War. I mean, fucking 40,000 NATO troops in fucking Ukraine is not something I had on my bingo card. Um, they can go be the tip of the spear too. They're gonna just go wherever they want in Russia. And like I said, all the data coming out is certainly giving me pause. Donald Trump backtracked on his campaign pledge to lower grocery prices. Go figure. Oh, super dangerous language out of Elon Musk. Elon Musk calls homelessness a lie and propaganda, and Donald Trump is listening to that. Georgia the state, or Georgia the country? Yeah, yeah. Brasher is right. Ray. Everybody initially was pissed at Ray. Oh, you bent the knee to Donald Trump. You made it easier for him to appoint Kash Patel, and it's like, nah, actually, there's a rule that says it's for the calendar year. So by him resigning after January 1st, he makes it so that Donald Trump can't appoint a new FBI director for a full year. hmm Yeah, they have. And this is our daily call for proof of life for JD Vance. He's not on the radar at all. I follow our politics, our world news, our news. I try to stay on top of it. And where the fuck is JD Vance? Again, I've said this whole time I think he turned patsy. So it wouldn't surprise me that he's quiet. And also he could just be he was a never Trump guy, you know? Yeah, I can't with people. I don't want people like that. We got 16 people in here, my goodness. Everybody have a fantastic day. Happy Friday if you celebrate. Make sure that you drink water and that you touch grass. And by touch grass, we just mean go for a walk. What the fuck is Elon too? Yeah, he was in the UK a couple days ago. Yeah, I saw that. Talking to that French president, right? The one that stepped down and collapsed their government. They were asking him for a place to stay. They're asking him for quarter. Oh, you mean Joanne? You mean like go before a firing squad? I agree. Elon, like I said, Donald Trump is bad. Vladimir Putin's worse. But Elon Musk, man, you got to understand his daddy owned emerald mines, and that means that Elon's wealth before Tesla, before SpaceX, before all this shit came from the ownership of slaves. So I mean, you gotta understand them humble beginnings they always talk about when they talk about these fucking billionaires. Was straight up blood, sweat, and tears from colored people. I'm sorry if that offends you. It's just the truth. He's from South Africa, just like Peter Thiel, just like David Sachs. And remember, a little birdie came to me and said, "Hey, I'm doing research on this. I can connect Donald Trump, Elon Musk." They did not bring up Artem Klyushin, for the record. So again, Jackie came. That was new information. You talking about? Hey, May, are you talking about Donald Trump or Elon Musk? And I'm asking that sarcastically. Me too, May. I really loved Twitter. Twitter was my baby. I was never popular. Like I only had like 600 followers, but for only having 600 followers, like I was doing pretty good on Twitter. I'm not like I don't have to have a big crowd, you know what I mean? But when you get, 50 to 100 likes on stuff you post, yeah, I'm satiated. I'm getting one of my little, you know what I mean? So, all right. So, what else we got? Like I said, that letter from Tammy Baldwin. I feel like Hakeem Jeffries talking about the swing states openly. Um, Ham sandwiches. We're on to bigger pieces now. Like what's a bigger story than North Carolina, where the North Carolina outgoing Republican administration signed, basically try to force law that stripped the incoming Democrats of power before they even go into office, and names them specifically. And it got vetoed. Got vetoed. And they like overrode a veto to put this law into place. And it's like, how is this like open corruption just allowed? And I am reminded constantly that Mark Elias is but one person, and ACLU can only do so much. Um, but yeah, it's fucking bad. And what they're trying to do, for the record, is they're trying to take power away from the Democrats and put it in someone's hands that is a Republican, as a means of like controlling the politics without winning the office, right? And that's what's particularly troubling, is that it's like they won when they lost. How do you lose an election and win? Because you won power. you know. But the same energy that we have for these CEOs, we should we should be having for these. I read about how Elon's only friend was black in his private school. Hmm. Well, it's crazy because as an adult, all his friends are white. David Sachs is the former COO of PayPal. He's also a big financier of this um, billionaires buying our elections. Oh my God, his daughter hates him. Oh my God. No, no. You know what's super troubling about Elon Musk is that he has a son that became a that transitioned, and is her name is Evelyn, and he disowned her. And for the record, she's beautiful, and she's a beautiful person. And Elon Musk doesn't have anything to fucking do with that. And it tears at him because he did this shit. He pushed that kid away to the point where she when you feel, it's just like we talk about breaking free of brainwashing. You have to be deprogrammed. You have to be isolated. You have to isolate yourself. You have to protect yourself. And then you have to feel the weight of your decisions. And so, because Elon, people that are narcissists never take accountability. Okay, like when I fuck something up, you guys, I immediately say that's my fault. It's my fault. I'll try to fix it. I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to make people mad. And because of the line of work that I do, most of the problems that people are going to have with me is not necessarily the words out of my mouth, but the strength with which I speak. You're speaking a little too confidently. You have a source. The difference between me and everyone else is I will have already reviewed the sources before I put a thought out there. Like before I, yeah, yeah. Jilly said Elon uses his children as meat shields. This is he did that to keep himself from getting arrested or shot. Um, and hey, and think about this: Elon Musk did not win an election. I just want to point that out. Elon Musk is not an elected official. Um, I'm interested to see when that ball drops. Because, like I said, now that information that Jackie Singh put out yesterday is public, that had to get taken in by the feds. They had to take that into account. They're due to report to the Director of National Intelligence. Her name is Avril by December 20th. Their findings as it refers to their investigation for that. Yeah. I just want to point out Elon Musk, not a college graduate. Not a 4-year degree, not a master's degree, not a PhD. And he rallies against the education system. He calls himself a technologist. He appears to have some mental acuity, some basic understanding of programming and shit. Um, oh my God, Joanne. All right, so hear this theory, okay? So I don't know if I ever told you this, but I worked for 18 months for a gay man and became friends with him. He's he's a drug addict. It was just I had to go to the hospital. He got his stomach pumped 3 times. Cocaine. It's a hell of a drug. But he was partier, you know, and I made a lot of friends because of him. Obviously, he's troubling, but he had some fucking amazing people around him. He's still alive. I'm just not as close. I'm closer to the people I met because of him that were looking out for him. You know, they were the ones that were going in the bathroom and sweeping up all the excess blow and getting rid of it. so that, when we have a party, you just don't have a sink full of blow and shit just sitting out. They put it in a baggie, put it up. They were trying to take it out away from him and keep him from doing it, right? I became friends with those people that cared for him, who also mostly happen to be gay. I'm still friends with those people. And so I said all of that shit to say, with Elon Musk, the conversation is always he's a bottom. He's the girl. He's the one dressing up. And Donald Trump is and I know you're about to throw up in your mouth a little bit. Donald Trump's the dominant male figure. So it's like I think that's a twink. That's why he's so pale. And if you've ever seen any of the composites, I know it's fucking gross, Brasher, god damn it. Sorry. Yeah, I know. It's like fuck. But that's what my gay friends have said. Like, oh, he's a twink and Donald Trump's fucking him. And you're like, what? And they're like, look at his skin. He's got fair skin. Put him put a wig on that. Put a dress on. And you're just like, I can't see it because I'm not gay. Like I'm a white cis male, straight as fuck. Can't see it. But I got friends that have been around a block that are like, oh, he's not a giver. He's not a dominant figure. He's submissive. Submissive to whom? Who is he around the most? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And publicly, the relationship is the opposite, right? Elon Musk is the powerful figure. Donald Trump's kind of like, Elon's brilliant. Let him do it, right? So, sorry for the visual. Certainly not what I wanted to like talk about, but yeah. Definitely have friends that are like, that is a weird sexual relationship. So mark it the fuck down. There's a conspiracy theory, full blown conspiracy. Yep, I have no evidence, none. Just I happen to be yes, dominated in private by a man because his dad's a shitty human, and his mom agrees with him. So his mom, he it's not about a woman needing a woman. There are people in that whole MAGA clique that they desperately need a mother. Their mother figure sucks. If I remember correctly, Donald Trump's mom's a piece of shit. Rest in pieces. I think I'm pretty positive. Um, and also, I want to make sure I point this out. So you know how they've been talking about UFOs in Jersey? You know what I heard from a little birdie? They got enough people in here to do that? Yeah, there's 18 people in here. Oh, baby, we're doing good. Welcome everybody to Justice's Waiting Room. Every day in 90-minute sessions, we're going to sit here. We're going to talk about current events, things that are actually happening. This is arguably, I think, the first time on my podcast that I've actually openly talked about a conspiracy, the Trump Elon relationship, without fear of getting banned. YouTube, they're going to let me have my free speech. Okay? TikTok was not letting me have my free speech. That's why we're here right now. And we already have 20 fucking people in here. Hey, it's the first session of the day. We're going to be on here another 5 or so minutes. You know me, I tend to rant. I tend to go long. I ask my wife. I'm playing the fucking long game. Okay? Um what we do here is We go through current events. We are trying to tie it all together. Our major linchpin is this election. That's a core conversation that we're having. And it's all hey, hey, you're not it. I don't get grossed out. This one don't. This one don't think about this. I'm when I tell you Elon Musk is twinking for fucking Donald Trump, I'm not grossed out by that. I'm just like, that's a dynamic of their relationship that once you know that's a possibility, and then you see how they act in public, you're like, what a fucking parasitic, toxic ass relationship. They should not be in the same fucking room. They're dangerous. And when I say dangerous, I mean powerful people that are used to being able to. Betty said, "What did the birdie tell you?" Clearly, we need to change fucking subjects because people are like, "No, stop it, stop! You're putting them in a room and shit. Stop that." Holding hands. Anyway, skipping around. Um, Me neither. I didn't mean it. Did I sound like I was shaming them? Not at all. Not at all. I was literally saying like I have people that are LGBTQA that were like, hey, their behavior a little bit. Okay, just so you understand, I was not trying to fucking be like, if that's their fucking shit, that's their shit. We just have to fucking deal with that if that's the truth, right? But I also want to make sure that I say it's fucking dangerous as fuck that they have that relationship potentially privately, but it's switched in public, where Donald Trump's kissing the fucking ring and shit. And there's like a picture of that where it's Donald Trump bending the knee for fucking Elon. And for the record, Brasher said, "Don't hurt me, have at it, baby." I know I'm fucking raunchy. Okay, not afraid. Sociopaths in a group equals total chaos and destruction. Absolutely. And imagine the fallout when they break up. Hey, Drake didn't write fireworks for no reason. Thank you, Marlena. Thank you for that. Sometimes I gotta get told like, nah, you didn't sound like a dick, and I'm gonna be a dick sometimes. I'm a man. I'm a white cis male. Fortunately for y'all, I'm not a bigot. But like everyone else, I'm fucking fallible, and every now and then I'm gonna say something that comes really fucking close, Jared, to being some bigot ass shit. And I want to be called out, and I want to take fucking responsibility, and I want to be like, my dumb brain, right? Fortunately for me, to echo better, but what did the birdie tell you? Fuck! What did the birdie tell me? Okay, so what's about the drones? Oh, that's what I was looking for. So this is another birdie. I was looking at another birdie, so I got two to tell you, and then I'll let you go. Okay. Um, Birdie told me Donald Trump buried secrets in what is ever in that golf course. Is it his mom? And the drones are providing lighting, like overhead lighting, for overnight excavation because they didn't want to be doing that during the day. And also acknowledging that it's also awfully close to a military base. So understand that in the event that we are wrong, it's a military base. It just could have been like them doing a night fire. You know what I mean? And they were using drones to spotlight. Entirely possible. Okay. Ivana's grave. Yeah, his first wife. So the rumor, you know what I heard? You know what I heard? And this is not a birdie told me. This is a general statement. I heard what they put in the ground was heavy as fuck. Like, I heard 13,000 pounds. And again, that's not like a birdie told me that was like being an internet person. It was like, what the fuck did they put in the ground? And what did they put in her grave? And again, New Jersey near her grave. And like what the fuck is buried there? And also what people haven't 13,000 what? Yes, I heard I can't confirm that this is true. Excuse me for burping. I was like mid sentence. I heard that Ivanka's like that platform that they lower into the ground. You know what I'm talking about? They do like an open casket or closed. It don't matter. They still have the casket on a platform. I heard it weighed 13,000 pounds. They make meds for ADHD. No, I have too many people telling me shit, and then I have to figure out how to give it to you in what order. And since y'all knew the birdie told me about drones, how to tell you that first. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the it being heavy has to do with anything. So you're allowed to dismiss shit that I heard and be like, what the fuck? Hey, I'm just repeating. I didn't make it up. Just repeating. Brasher said, a cremated body don't need a 6-foot coffin. Do you understand what I'm even implying by saying it? It could be money. It could be gold bars of it wasn't there a scheme where Elon Musk and them were trying to get the government to convert gold into fucking Bitcoin or some shit? Anyway, I'm just spitballing. So let's talk about what a birdie told. Let's talk about what a birdie told me. So I've said this before, but we've switched platforms. Okay, we got 19 people in here. Okay, this person had contacted me and they're like, "Hey, I'm a government employee. Here's my info. Don't tell anybody who I am." I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do research and every now and then I'm just gonna give you information. Oh, okay. And then every time that person gives me fucking information, for the record, the shit has already happened. I haven't reported on it yet because I have some journalistic integrity. Some. I said some. Did you see a little pinky? You see a little pinky? I have some journalistic integrity. So most of the time when I get information, I already have it. You're just confirming. I'm waiting for another source and then I can produce. Because hearsay does not count as a source. A whisper does not count as a source. An article counts as a source, depending on the source. So sometimes when you read an article, consider the source. Then you think about how seriously am I taking this information? Not whether I believe it or not. I believe it. Believe it. Whether it is important or not, it depends on the source. Depends how widely it's reported. Facts. So this I hope so. I'll tell you when I'm gonna lie to you. Like I'm gonna say, I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm making it up as I go. Right? I'll tell you when I'm as making shit up and when I'm not operating in reality. I'll even tell you, you know what I mean? Concerta. So here's what I got. Are you ready? And we'll get out of here. She told me, and for the record, it's a woman. I've connected the dots on the voting machine hack side to David Sachs, Donald Palmer, he's the commissioner at EAC.gov, Chuck Grassley, who's the head of House Insight Committee, and the Heritage Foundation lawyer Hans von Spakovsky. Okay? you can add to that Artem Klyushin, to that gaggle. Okay? And then the ballot chasing Charlie Kirk has been doing is highly illegal. He's been making churches a hub to get people to vote and collecting their ballots. I feel like we need to be doing a class action lawsuit against churches becoming political and change their tax bracket if they want to be political in the future. And then, so again, 3 primary actors: Trump, Elon, David Sachs. And then there are many other people along the way: Charlie Kirk, Tyler Bowyer, Don Palmer. I asked about Jack Pacibic because I'd seen information tying Jack Pacibic to this whole network. Okay, haven't seen that come out yet. I asked her, will you research Jack Pacibic? And then, hey, just so you know, they messaged me and said, I found some shit and I'm having a hard time processing it. I think you need to make a video on it. So, yeah, that'll be the end. I'm going to get back to them and say, hey, what do you got for me? Let me sift through this chum, see if I can verify any of it. And if I find some juice, I'll make a couple TikToks. We'll get back at it after a break. Okay? 19 people in here. Love y'all. Drink water, touch grass, right? Get some rest. It's lunchtime for me. Or not really. Not really. It's just end of the morning session for me. Okay? So, have a great rest of your little morning. We'll be let's say we get on here 11:30ish. Okay? So, I'm going to take a break, play with the dog.